Good morning. It's Friday, January 27th, and most of you have heard about all the shootings that took place over the past couple of days. 11 people, 7 people. And I'm sure that most of you recognize that these attacks were on Asian Americans. And I don't know why Asian American hatred has risen so much in recent times. And it's not a good thing in this country to have any kind of racism attack. But it's a terrible thing when people go around shooting innocent people because of their hatred. And of course, when you look at things, if you take a broader look at this, you can see that Asian American discrimination has driven disproportionately, I believe, to the rest of the discriminations that exist in this country. It's taken its place against black racism, and it's taken its place against anti-Semitism, and it's right up there with some of the top discriminatory factors that go on in this country. And then there's a case of one of our leading discriminators of all time, a man who served as President of the United States. Actually, the 45th President, Donald J. Trump. And he has always called Elaine Chao, his Secretary of Transportation, and the wife of Mitch McConnell, he has always called her by derogatory names. And I don't know why she stuck with him during all of those periods of time when he called her Coco Chow or something else, something probably worse than that. So why? Why in this country has discrimination against Asian Americans risen so much? It's probably because there's a lot of hatred out there on Twitter and Facebook and other social medias. And so what has happened to combat this? Nothing. We have Mark Zuckerberg inviting Trump back onto his social networks, which are Twitter and Facebook, and his company is called Meta for some reason. And why would he do that? Does he honestly believe that having Donald Trump's presence on his networks is going to increase his revenue? Because otherwise there's no reason to have Donald Trump on his network. Donald Trump has his own network called Truth Social, which is probably failing. I don't know how many people use Truth Social beyond Donald himself. But does Zuckerberg think that there's money to be made by putting Donald Trump on his networks? I would think that it's going to cost him money. I would think that people are going to leave his networks when they find out that he's willing to give Donald Trump a voice. And I know this issue of voice and freedom of speech is a big topic. But when somebody speaks hatred, it doesn't matter how many times he does it. If he does it once, he should be banned. I know that several times in my YouTube career, YouTube has taken me down because their algorithm has misinterpreted what I said. And when I appealed, I won both times because I was not saying anything derogatory or racist in the remark. But the algorithms that they use can misinterpret things. So if you can clearly prove that somebody is saying things that are really off the wall, inflammatory and things like that, they should be taken down. And they shouldn't be allowed back. Because these people don't change their stripes, you know. This is not like they grow up. These are full-grown adults who are doing stupid things. And believe me, saying stupid things is part of Donald J. Trump's mantra. So the other day on Truth Social, he referred to Chow as Coco Chow. And Chow said, the racist nickname said more about Trump than it will ever say about Asian Americans. So you can understand now partially why Asian Americans have become targets. And maybe it's because they do so well in school. There are many who are upset by the quality of Asian Americans at our learning centers, where they are taking places that many in this country believe belong to white Christian Americans. But Asian Americans work very hard getting educated. And the children of Asian Americans do not have it that easy because I am sure it's their parents that put a lot of pressure on them to do well in school. And maybe we should look at that as a positive influence, not as a negative thing. And Chao said Asian Americans worked hard to change their experience for the next generation. And Donald Trump doesn't seem to understand that, which says a whole lot more about him than it will ever say about Asian Americans. But when you put this whole package together and you see that Asian Americans work hard and try to get ahead and are succeeding, then you can understand the hatred that brews in this country, because many in this country still believe in a white Christian society. And then, of course, you have Donald Trump defending his position, claiming that Mitch McConnell and Elaine Chao have ties to China, and therefore they are a threat to this country because they are working on behalf of China. But of course he says that without having any proof. And he spreads that rumor that Coco Chao is a Chinese spy of some kind. But yet he did not do anything to fire her or anything like that. No proof at all. And why? Why, if she was serving China, did he allow her to be his Secretary of Transportation for his entire term? And maybe he is truly pissed off at her because she resigned on January 6th, the minute he started supporting those insurrectionists. She stepped up and said, this is not the way this country should be going. And she left him in the lurch. So maybe those things figure into Donald Trump's thinking about her. And maybe that's why he continues to use derogatory terms to reference her. Why can't he just say outright, hey, Elaine is a such and such person, or Elaine is this, and this? Why must he call her Coco Chao or some other derogatory word? Because that's Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump has no seichel. Donald Trump doesn't understand that there are many who dislike him. And he's not going to win those people over by being the schmuck that he is. But he has a huge base, so he's riding that wave. And Zuckerberg is now giving him another platform to spew hatred out to this. Do we need to have Asian Americans killed every week? This is a fragile country going in the wrong direction. So I leave you with that this morning. Have a great day. Bye.